we're checking out your, this is like the signature fight of your career up to this point. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but this was November 14th, 2009, against Daniel Santos. And maybe just sort of tell us what's going on, what you see, what you remember.
So, yeah. So Daniel Santos, he had. I remember when I I was getting ready to fight him. I had a very good preparation, a very strong camp. It was a lot of sparring, so much sparring, like a lot of tough sparring too. So it was definitely not just cardiovascular shape you get, and when you're getting, when you're a fighter, it's not just your physical preparation. It's so much more mental game, so much more mental preparation to it. And most people who is not an athlete or competing athlete, maybe they, at least when they competed before, they know what I'm talking about. Is it's so much more mental. Your body can withstand any kind of a preparation, but it's also a mental endurance, mental stamina, if there is such thing, but I believe there is. And it was very draining preparation for this fight.
Was it like the hardest? Was it the hardest of your career up to that?
I think so. Yeah, I think so because we had we sparred 3 times a week, and at that time, I was training in Jersey, so I was taking 2 trains to get to the Jersey, then 2 trains back. It would take me sometimes almost 2 hours one way to get to the gym, then train there. I used to pack protein shake, snacks, sandwiches, just so, by the time I get home after training, I would not be losing too much weight. And because I wanted to get strong, not to lose muscles. Mm-hmm. And I remember first when the camp started, we started doing 6 rounds sparrings 3 times a week. We did that for 2 weeks. Then 2 weeks, another 2 weeks, 8 rounds. Sometimes depends how I felt. We do it 3 times a week. Sometimes we do twice a week. Then we did twice a week. If I can remember correctly, I think twice a week we did 8-round sparring and then 10-round sparring, and so we kept. Yep.
It was the gym in Patterson.
In Patterson, yeah, and yeah, with Joe Greer, and I don't remember if we did once 12-round sparring. I think we did maybe just 10-round sparring and then intense pad work. I don't remember, but I remember I was just mentally, I need this fight because I want to do my best at this fight, and then I want to take a break. Yeah. So also in my throughout my boxing career, I was 154, 154 pounds, and junior welterweight or super welterweight, whatever you might call it, I was not bulking up ever, I'm walking around 160, 161, I dehydrate myself this 7 pounds, and I'm right at my weight, because my boxing is a movement. There's movement. I'm always
Yeah,
very
yeah, of
active
course.
on my feet. Yeah, and so this gentleman, Daniel Santos, he was already a three-time world champion at that time. And I remember at the weigh-in, 24 hours before the fight, he was he was making weight 154. He made 154 mark, and he was weak. I could see he was weak, like he was dehydrated, and so it's very interesting because when you go into the fight, they check you. I don't remember which channel was it, Showtime or HBO, and they made an
It
unofficial, yeah.
had to
So
be
right before
HBO.
you go into the unofficial weight. So right before you go into the ring, my unofficial weight was 158. I dehydrated myself 4 pounds, and he was 173. He gained 19 pounds. I don't know how they do that. How I mean, fighters who rehydrate themselves so much, because it's not just drinking water for 24 hours and eating. There's got to be some kind of other methods where you add 19 pounds or 20 pounds.
It's crazy, yeah.
There's got to be some ways that we, other camp of the fighters, I don't know. You probably have to know some person who knows some person.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. So when he was coming in this robe, when they removed his robe, and I was like, holy moly, he looks completely different than 24 hours ago.
looks like Roy Jones weight, right? Like
Yeah,
light heavyweight.
different weight category, like light heavyweight.
All right, let's start.
Yeah, it looked very menacing,
See, like it. I remember it was HBO.
Yeah. Oh, maybe, yeah. I think it was HBO.
That's Joe Gree right there?
Joe Grey right there with the hat, Harry Kidd and Pedro Saiz, Darren Antola, Al Roth. There was a lot of booing.
There's a lot of booing.
There's a lot of booing.
This was in Vegas, right?
It's in Vegas, MGM Grand, yeah. He looked very menacing. He wanted, a lot of fighters, they want to, visually, they want to
Scare you.
They want to scare you, yeah. But once you're already on that level, it's images, pictures, cover of the books. It's just the images that have nothing, not necessarily have anything behind them. I already know that since I was amateur, and it's okay. So I believe it's already 12 round.
I found like this was like highlights.
Yeah. So he wanted to make it an ugly fight. I knew that they probably didn't thought that I'm gonna be able to move for 12 rounds, pretty much nonstop. But
I remember that. Yeah, like
I moved for 12 rounds. I was in a great mental conditioning as well as physical. He trying to finish the thing. He looking for a one-punch knockout, but I'm catching up here very well in terms of making him miss, making him pay. Anytime you see a puncher like he had more knockouts than I had actual fights. He needs to first to stop, to land, and then continue going. Most of the punchers, that's what they do. They need to stop before they punch. Otherwise, if they're constantly the target in front of them, they cannot use their all full potential of their power, of their physique, you know.
Like he cannot set himself. You're not letting him set himself to punch, right?
Yeah. So once he gained 19 pounds for this fight, you know, I already knew, you know, because I knew before the fight that he gained 19 pounds, you know. I already knew that he's looking for a quick night, you know. Joe Greer told me right before the first round, you just stay one step ahead of him. So one step ahead of him, just make sure, don't let him do what he wants to do, make it into a brawl. And then after the 5th round, just go into, that was a knockdown. And then after the second half of the fight, put on the engines and just be in his face every single time. But being in his face does not necessarily mean it's Gary Ward fight. You know, when you're just standing there and I don't have to. You see, he's getting very last couple of seconds. He's really trying to end it. Once you lose pretty much every single round, or most of the rounds, you know, there's a sense of urgency, and that's how he got also knocked down the last round. He's getting so urgently that he's forget about the defense, you know.
Now I noticed you had the knee, like let me pause it for a second. Like I saw you had the knee brace, right?
Yeah.
The knee didn't bother you. I mean, I know in the Cotto fight it did, but like.
So in pretty much every single preparation for my fights, I would have every single once in a while my knee pops, just like boom. There's certain move, certain like anytime I'm going lateral movement, like left, right, and then hard left or hard right, you know, I'm pushing off front of my right knee and once in a while, it's something, the joints just kind of a pop for a second. It would hurt for a while, and you know, the next day I'm back in the gym. You know?
But it didn't, like for this fight, it wasn't like there was.
Oh, thank God, yeah, thank God it didn't. Yeah.
All right, I wanna get your take on, like, you know, because this was like the moment where they announced you the winner.
Yeah. Well, I'm already pretty sure that I won, you know, but there's still there's a little like a tingling moment, like what if?
It's boxing.
It's boxing, yeah. So when I won, yes, and then you know, it's emotions and everything, but it's kind of also surreal that there's Maury, my manager.
Yeah. You got the flag.
Alan Cohen behind. Yeah. So it was just out of respect for the champion. It's good. He told me, "You move a lot." That's his problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. You know, so the thing is, look, throughout my professional career, people was very critical of my style. It's boring, it's this and that. And I think a big critic of HBO boxing at that time was Larry Merchant.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a older gentleman who is, everybody know him, you know, and who's kind of hard to impress, you know, But I remember in the press conference after the fight, post-conference, not press, post-conference, you know, I had my head. I was just passing by, and he stopped me for a second, and he says, "You were great tonight. I didn't expect from you to see a good, entertaining fight, but you delivered everything, you know, and entertaining and excitement." And so he told me pretty much, you know, that was when the big critic says that, all right, I did good that night, you know.